So if you knew you had 5 minutes before your entire life was going to change, you might wake up, you might not, but regardless, everything changes. What would you think about? That question changed everything for me because I was not ready for it and I had to confront it. So from the moment that I found out that I needed a heart surgery to the moment that I actually went into the operation was 2 days. So I didn't have time to think. I wasn't alone at any point. Sarah was by my side every step of the way. And as grateful as I am, of course, to have their support and have them by my side for that, the only time that I was alone was outside the operating room 5 minutes before I went in. So I'm sitting outside the operating room, surgeons and nurses are running everywhere trying to set things up, and I kept hearing them refer to me as the young guy. And I laughed that off for a second and thought it was kind of funny, but right after that, it kind of hit me that I am the young guy, and how the heck did this happen? How am I here? And this is happening. This is real. This is about to happen. Those thoughts were kind of crazy, but what came after, I just wasn't prepared for, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. When you're sitting outside an operating room, you just said goodbye to your family, and it might be the last time you got to see them. It's pretty easy to fall into those negative thought patterns, and that's exactly where I went. There's a lot of scary thoughts that can come from that. Biggest ones being the obvious questions of how you lived. Did I tell the people I care about how much they meant to me? Did I tell Sierra I love her enough? Did I do as much as I could have? Was I making the right decisions? Was I helping people as often as I could? But by far the biggest one that I realized in that moment I had the answer to was, did I live? I've always been someone who believed you only get one life, but when you're confronted with that in that moment, nothing can prepare you for that. And the hardest part of that is you're going in regardless. You're going into that process whether you like it or not. So there's no room for regret. You can't make any changes. It's done. It's where you're at. And that thought is something that scared the living shit out of me, because I realized that I hadn't lived the way I wanted to. I had prioritized work over almost everything for so long that I couldn't answer the other question, which is, who am I? I like to think that I was the happy guy, the guy who was always there for his friends and tried his best in every front. But the reality was I wasn't doing that at the time. I was prioritizing this hustle and grind life of, working 14, 16-hour days and sacrificing almost all of my balance and free time and peace in the moments that I, in that moment, wish I could have gotten back for a job. And at that moment, I realized that, I'm in the position, I'm out of time. This is it. I don't get to go back and spend more time with my family or tell people the things that I wish I had said. I'm out. I am going into this surgery, and if I don't wake up, that's it. That's where I was. Now, with that said, I am so grateful that I was raised in a way that I'm able to take these thoughts and try my best to process them a little bit and say, okay, take a step back. You don't need to be going into that surgery thinking that way. You did live. You had one hell of a ride. And that was the focus going in. When the doctors came out and said, all right, we're good to go, come on in, I just kept thinking of her and the life that I did get to live, my friends, my family, the experiences and travels and memories that I have. That's all you can do. That's all you can focus on. And that's what I did. Took him another 10 minutes to get me out. I take forever to actually have medications hit me, so it took a little while, but once I was fading, in that moment, I just remember going, the only thing that I care about and want to think about in this exact moment is my girl. And that's what I did. I focused on her smile and waking up next to her every morning, and how grateful I was for even just that, let alone everything else that I got to experience and my amazing family and friends. I'm going to focus on my girl's smile and try to get through this. And before I get into the moment I woke up and the first thing that I did, I want to talk about that for a second. Since then, it's made me think about how many people are living that way without doing something about it. Every day that you wake up, you have the opportunity to do something about it and change how you're feeling and change who you are. Not everyone gets that chance. And I was naive enough to believe that I would, and I didn't. So this is me trying to communicate to you. Please make those changes if you feel you need them. More importantly, more than anything, communicate. Tell the people how you feel. Ask that girl out. Do the thing you're afraid of, because I promise you, nothing is more scary than being in that moment of knowing There's potentially no way out of this, and there's things I wish I could have done. You do not want to be there. Do something about it. So with that heavy side of things out of the way, I woke up, looked down, and my chest has this huge bandage on it. It's yellow, blood, and pink stuff everywhere. You know, I woke up groggy. I was all drugged up, and I was like, whoa, like, where the heck am I? This is crazy. I got something in my chest that I could feel it. I was super sore. First thing I did, I'm all groggy. I'm like reaching for my phone. I wanted to talk to Sierra and tell her I made it and that I was okay. So I pull out my phone and I record a video. I literally remember being like, yo, we did it. I'm here. I'm just gonna get through whatever they need me to do, and then I'm gonna come and see you guys. Like, love you so much. The side that a lot of people don't talk about is what your family goes through during this whole process. I'm gonna make an entire video dedicated to that. I wouldn't be here without any of them, and I can't thank them enough. It was almost 3 hours of them having to sit and wait to find out if I was okay. I just can't even imagine. I've been through a lot, and I would never want to go through that. So to you guys, I love you. Thank you for being there. After that, I got patched up. They say, all right, man, we got to go do some x-rays and MRIs and stuff and make sure you're all good. And I will never forget, I'm all messed up in this little wheelchair, and they wheel me out and they go past the waiting room, and my whole family, they all jump up and they look at me, and I can't imagine how hard that was, because I didn't look good. I was bloodied and bandaged up, and I was pale and out of it, and I can barely speak, but man, that felt good. So yeah, a bit of a heavier video today, but really important that do the things you've been afraid to do and be so proud of yourself for how far you have come, regardless of what you regret. Make sure you're happy with where you're at. If you've had a story like this or anything like this happen, a challenge you're facing, let me know in the comments. I want to share my story and hopefully encourage you guys to share yours. So let me know how you're feeling. Thank you again. You got this.